Welcome to The Rooted Warriors, the podcast where the bonds of sisterhood are not just celebrated, but explored through laughter, tears, and everything in between. Join me and my two dearest friends as we dive deep into the roots of our own friendships, sharing stories and challenges. Whether you're looking for inspiration, advice, or just a good story, we're here to bring a piece of our sisterhood right into your life.
Hello, my healthy homesteaders. Are you ready to detoxify your dwellings and transform them into true wellness retreats? Today, we're diving into the hidden dangers lurking in your everyday products and showing you how to revamp your space with healthful and natural alternatives. Let's get started on creating your sanctuary of serenity and safety.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Hey.
Hi, sister.
So we're 12 days into January.
How is that even possible?
Yeah.
Weird, though, because so much has already happened and changed for each of us.
It really has.
So let's talk about our adventure into purging and finding this new way of life. And I want to start with Monica.
Okay.
Because I don't know if our listeners remember that she was calling me and Andy hippies.
Seriously.
A year ago.
I don't even know that it was that long. That's just when it started.
Yes. She just thought we were like little fairies running around our little own private forest. But
Well, I wasn't wrong.
Guess
I
who's
was not wrong about that.
But guess who's growing her little wings now into fairy hippiehood?
welcome to our world.
I know they like brought
Tree
me
hugger.
in, you know, it's like you hang out with a clan very long and you start acting like the clan.
Seriously,
So
right?
yeah, I've become a little bit of a homestead, as Andy was talking about, hippie over here.
Yeah.
And I am loving every single second of it.
It's funny when our lenses get cleaned up a little bit.
Right?
Especially when it's with all natural products.
Yeah, right? And we remove some of those chemical.
When the toxins are gone, I see very clear.
Do you want to hear something weird? Because I want to hear about your adventure this week and what
Yeah,
you've been doing.
absolutely.
But I just had this thought that just ran through my mind really quick, is that I was at Target the other day and I could not find one single all natural toothpaste with no fluoride
No,
in it.
ma'am. No, you can't. Well, even if you can, like Hello
No, you can't.
toothpaste.
Nope.
Well, Hello toothpaste was one of them, but now they have class action lawsuits against them. We had to pull all of ours out of our cup. We had like a bunch of different tubes of it.
Mhm.
And now they're in trouble now because of what they're actually sliding in there. I think they may have sold it. And so they're trying to, you're right though. There's no alternative.
So I have like this coconut oil that we've been
You know,
using.
I ordered that after the same brand that you guys got.
Mhm.
I ordered it and I haven't received it yet. It's been like 3 weeks.
And just wait longer.
Okay, got it.
What are you using?
It starts with it's like
the same.
Guru. It's like
Yeah,
Guru or something like that.
You know, because you said it the last one.
Yeah, that's why I pulled it
Yeah.
off of it. And
So I did
ordered
like
it.
tongue scraping and then the coconut
Guru
pulling.
Nanda.
Yeah, Guru Nanda.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do is keep a dish in my bathroom, like one for me, one for Adam, and do baking soda. Because you can do like baking soda and lemon and
Yeah.
brush your teeth.
That's what my Nana used. Seriously, you would think we'd have expensive toothpaste. No, she had a little jar of baking soda and
Yeah.
a little bit of salt, of Himalayan salt.
Yeah.
And we would dip our toothbrush in there and brush our teeth that way. But knobs, look into that because it's remineralizing. And they,
Like KNOBS.
I think it's actually just NOBS. And then I just found it's called
All I heard was BS. Sorry.
BS. It's actually, so what they're finding out is our teeth, I mean, for lack of a better word, they're almost like crystals sort of. So you can remineralize them. And I used to make my own toothpaste for that reason, but other people have really honed in on this and made it perfect kind of. But now they have gum too. Like it's called Underbrush and it's gum and Greg's going to order some, but you'll see people on social media crying because it has completely changed their teeth and cavities that they once had have healed themselves. Your
crazy.
teeth are like bones. They can heal themselves.
But I also don't think that the toothpaste that we're using now is helping us.
It's making it worse.
It's making it worse. And there's so many chemicals inside of it. And it's just crazy that you can't just go out and find a healthy version of a toothpaste now.
So true.
That Hello toothpaste, the black one.
Yeah.
The guy that was doing the interview that I watched, his teeth started breaking off, and they had no idea what was going on. And come to find out, it was something in there. And then it was like a natural toothpaste, but they added something to it that was weakening his enamel. And it made his teeth start breaking, and they got so much worse. And we thought it was a great toothpaste, and it's not.
Jeez.
So let's hear about your little adventure this week.
Okay. Yeah. So it's been really exciting. You know I've shared with you guys a few times throughout the process of this last week. So first of all, obviously we're in the purge phase. So I'm working on trying to get the pantry where I can get that in line. Part of the reason is my little hobbies and things I'm doing are like bleeding all over the place. So I got it in the office, I got it in the kitchen, I got it outside, I got it in the pantry. It's like a nightmare. So I'm trying to go through all my stuff, and we're going to be all donating, and we're doing a drive for the women's outreach program that we're doing. And so I'm like separating stuff for that. And I told you guys that I wanted to start doing my own laundry soap, and I already do my own candles. So first thing I did was I made 30 candles because I wanted to start going through some of my backup supply of stuff I have.
And then just a question. Did you start doing that just because the chemicals in regular candles that
Yes. So I have asthma, as you know, and I have really bad allergies. So, when our listeners hear me clearing my throat, it's not because I'm a smoker. It's because I have allergies really bad. So, but I love candles and I love smell, and I just always feel better. Like I love lighting candles in my home.
It's ambiance.
It is. My husband hates it, but he always has hated anything to do with the candles. He says it's bad for us to breathe at all. Same thing with like cleaners and stuff. He's like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. It's not good for us. Which is kind of funny because if you know Bob, you would never think he thinks like that. Yeah, he's Windexing everything. No, he uses Windex for everything. It's like the guy from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Like it's Windex for everything. He does it for the windows, for the floors, for the counter, for the ants.
You got a cold?
Yeah, Windex. It's ridiculous, but. Anyways, so that's kind of how it started. Was I like the soy candles, and then I like using the essential oils.
So did you just research like the most natural way of doing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I found a company. It's called Candle Science, and so I went on there to order all my stuff because, as you guys know, I don't do anything half-assed.
No.
So I'm going to do it as if I'm a candle maker.
All or nothing, baby.
All or nothing. And then I have a bunch of different mason jars because I make my own bitters for Falcons. And I've done that for a long time. I did it before for Moe's Tavern. And so I have a bunch of those mason jars, and some of them I don't reuse after a while. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start putting my candles in them because I was using the nice ones that I was buying, the jars. And I'm like, wait, why am I buying jars? Like, this is stupid. Like, I have stuff I can use.
Well, you reuse, even if you had pretty ones,
reuse
you
them.
would reuse
I do
it,
reuse
right?
them, yes.
Yeah.
But I was like, why am I buying all these unless I'm going to give it to somebody as a gift? Like, for my personal home, I don't need the really pretty glass one. I can use the mason jars. I can use other things like, when you get jelly and stuff at home, reusing those jars for my candles and stuff like that. So I started putting them in those. Which I actually really like how they look in those. Yeah, I like how they look in the jars.
Me too.
And they just seem to burn really good in them too. So anyways, I wanted to get through some of the back stock I had because I'm doing this whole purge thing. I want things organized and get it ready. So I made 30 candles.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of candles.
That's a lot.
So I did 30 candles, and then I started working on making my own laundry soap. And, as you know, I have allergies. So I usually use like all free and clear, which is super expensive.
Can I ask what you were using? Like to begin, was it like Tide free and clear, or what were you using?
No, it's all.
You were using all free and clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I switched from that to a brand that Sprouts has that's an all natural one, which was frankincense and myrrh, which is my favorite, but it's super expensive. And I didn't break out, which was great. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make my own laundry soap. Like, I want to do this. I found one that's only like 3 ingredients, maybe 4 with the essential oils. But I bought the stuff to do it. I made it. It took me literally 10 minutes to make my own laundry soap. another 10 minutes to do my fabric softener.
Is it the same essential oils that you would use for your candles or different?
It's different because the ones for the oils for the candles are a fragrance oil. So it's a little different. And I buy those from Candle Science. I use doTERRA for my laundry soap.
It's a great brand.
It is a great brand. It's super expensive. I also I think it's called Eve's Garden or something like that. And it's on Amazon. It's less expensive, but I actually like their blends better than I like the doTERRA ones. But I like doTERRA for their pure smells. So anyways, I made the laundry soap. I made the fabric softener. Both were super easy. I went and cleaned everything in the house that needed to be laundered. And then I found stuff that I wanted to launder so that way I could see how good this worked. And I was really, really happy. One of the things I learned right away is that I could put more smell in it because I really like the smellies.
Right.
So I'm like, as long as it doesn't ruin the fabric or anything like that. So I was able to put twice as much as the recipe actually called for. And I was way happier with it doing that. And then as a byproduct, so when I made the fabric softener, it has baking soda, hot water, vinegar, distilled vinegar, and conditioner in it.
So no soap.
No. Not in the fabric softener.
Brilliant, because that's one of the things in the natural detergent that people
you should use.
That people question.
So for the fabric softener, I did the hot water, the baking soda, and then I poured in, and I stirred it really good, to break up the thing. And then I poured in the vinegar and it fucking exploded.
Science project.
Science lab.
As everyone knows, school wasn't my thing. So I learned a little science lesson in my kitchen. So it went everywhere, but I have large tile in my kitchen on the floor and it's supposed to be like white grout, which it isn't always white grout. It's it's like a weird off white. So it exploded. I'm like, crap. And my guy Kyle was going to be showing up to work on the pantry thing and go over what I want done in there. And I'm like, oh God, it's a freaking mess I got. It's everywhere. It's all over the floor. So I cleaned it all up and then I'm going back to what I'm doing. And I looked out the floor. I was like, damn, that fucking floor is clean.
Shiny.
No, my grout was white. And I was like,
bright.
I was like, that's weird. Why is it white here? Oh, well, this is where the explosion was. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to look up how to make all natural floor cleaner. So I looked it up and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to make my own floor cleaner. I'm going to take all of my floor cleaner that I have. I'm going to put it in a box. I'm going to take it to the stores. We'll use it there. I'm going to make my own.
Poison someone else.
Poison the next guy. So I went ahead, made it. I mopped my entire home with it. And then I was walking barefoot around the house and I was like, wait, I don't remember my tile floor ever feeling like this. And Gina knows, I'm a clean freak. I use all kinds of product. That's how I am. My floor has never been so clean. My laundry has never been so clean. And I don't know how to explain it, guys. It's like the energy in my house is different. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, part of the clean thing is that most cleaners will leave a film and it just builds and it builds and it builds. Yeah. And that the cleaner that you're making is cutting that. And so you're right. They really never have been that stripped or clean before because of.
And it's crazy, guys, because residue. It's like 95% water. Most of the laundry soap, everything, there's hardly any product in it. It's mainly water.
So the beginning of the year, I was like, my shower is really big, but it's all white. Who does that? I have no idea, but it's like white tile.
No one that's cleaning it.
White grout, right? And it's like, there's like 4 or 5 different settings on our lights in the bathroom. So if you turn them all the way up, it activates a heater up there,
cool.
which is really nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that is nice.
So it's like the first of the year. I don't know. And I had clicked them all on because I was freezing. And then I get in my shower and I'm like,
this is disgusting.
It looks so much better without all these lights on, right?
Your shower in my face.
Yeah. So I get out. I was literally naked under my bathroom sink, grabbing every bleach and cleaner and scrubber and toothbrush. And I'm I was in there for 45 minutes.
Jeez.
I got out, got dressed. And I started getting super nauseous.
Cannot handle bleach.
I
can't.
mean, I have probably had 5-6 different cleaners that I was
chemicals.
mixing.
Oh.
But I was going crazy.
We
like,
learned
I was
this
like,
at a young age not to do this.
We did, but it's like I see red and I'm like, you know. So I'm downstairs now. I'm cooking. Adam comes home and he goes to kiss me, and he's like, "You literally smell and taste like chemicals. What are you doing?" And I was like, "I was cleaning the bathroom."
It's seeping
I'm making
out my
methamphetamine
pores.
upstairs.
I might as well have been. I might as
New
well have
hobby.
been. But he's just kind of, you know, like, wow, that's a lot. And I had this overwhelming flash come over me and like turned and started vomiting in my kitchen sink for like 10 minutes.
God,
And he
you got
just
poisoned.
stood there. He was like, "Hey, so don't ever do that again."
Right.
So Greg is super same thing, because he'll be like, do not use those chemicals, or open that bathroom window, keep that door open, because it's the same thing. I end up with a migraine afterward. I don't care what chemical I'm using, I'm going to get a migraine from it. So my housekeeper, like, I'm not joking, she thinks I'm a psychopath because they come in with their Fabuloso and all this stuff, and I'm all, yeah, we're not doing that here.
Am I the only person that hates Fabuloso?
No, I cannot stand the smell of it.
Like if I smell it, it drives me insane.
I
hate when I smell it in a restaurant.
I hate
Me
it
too.
I hate it.
My dad used to say, if you ever walk into a restaurant and it smells like anything other than food, walk out.
It's actually a good point.
You know, what drives me crazy at a restaurant is when they're cleaning tables with a spray bottle next to you. Like they're spraying the tables right next to you, and they're using a really hard chemical, and you can smell it. It changes the taste of your food.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't know you had a housekeeper.
Well, we do a lot of work for her. And so it's just kind of one of those, we like
Tradies.
Well, yeah, and she's just a new. She's actually she's part of. She works at one of those, what we were just talking about, those programs that helps women, and she's just really trying to build this business up. So
It's awesome.
yeah. So we just kind of try to keep the price low and let them make payments. But part of the way she makes payments is by doing our house. Now, I know it's California. Come at me, because you're not supposed to barter.
Hey,
you're not
is
supposed
there
to barter.
we can't barter in California?
I don't think
law.
so. It's against the law.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
How
not
is
allowed
that against the law?
It is.
Because they control us.
And
Gina.
they can't tax you for it.
Yeah. Government control.
I'm saying let's bring bartering back.
I agree.
do it.
I've got like 6 jars of honey. What do you got?
What do you got,
Trump.
homie? I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. What do you got, homie?
Yeah, you got 3 chickens for my 6 jars of honey.
This
Come
is
on.
what I'm saying. Like, so it was a perfect switch. I get to help her and she gets to help me. So I have time to do my business. It just works out so well.
Did we vote on that law? Or did they pass that in the middle of the night?
Well, I don't think the 3 of us sitting here voted for that, but I'm sure others did.
So I'm looking it up right now to make sure that we're not.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Oh, so we're wrong.
Oh,
Oh,
shocking.
So do you got some chickens for my honey?
Well, now that I know that it's.
I got something for you, honey. It ain't no chicken.
I'm wondering if it's recent that because it used to not be a thing. You could not do it. And the reason why is because they couldn't regulate
Well,
it.
they can't tax you.
Exactly.
Right? You're not paying taxes if you're bartering.
I think bartering's great. I think we
It
should
could be funny.
When Bob and I were first together, he was part of a bartering group, and that's how we met the guy that owns Doc, that owned the barbecue place in Modesto.
Mm-hmm.
And so we used to barter stuff, and it was kind of fun. It was
Okay,
love
hold on. So it isn't illegal, but you must follow all applicable state and federal laws. In other words, a third-party platform.
Yeah,
And
this was part of a
exchange.
group.
It's a form you have to fill out, a 1099-B, to report the transportation or the
So you
transaction
can pay tax
value.
on it. How much
Yes.
is that honey
Make
worth?
sure you
Exactly.
pay
Yeah.
sales tax on that, because God
So-
forbid.
Yeah, they don't get their piece of that fucking
It's
pie.
never enough. You
It
know, what's
isn't.
funny is I'm
No.
being audited right now for sales tax. They made over $1 million on us last year.
Oh my
and so they
gosh.
need to go through 3 years of things just to make sure that the $1 million wasn't enough that they got from us.
That is
Pieces of shit.
crazy.
Pieces of shit. And it's funny because one of the things they asked for, you know, they have all kinds of crap that you have to give them. So we gave them everything. One of the things they asked for was the DoorDash information. It's like, yeah, well, no problem. it all gets ran through my POS because I do stuff legally. So you don't have to worry about it being on a tablet somewhere that's not done, but it's never enough for the government. The government always has to have their hand in your pocket.
I would really love for someone to come on here and actually kind of explain this to us a little bit more, because I think you can barter things that are more like of monetary value, that are less significant monetary value. So if for honey, for eggs kind of thing, you could do. But if you're doing, say, a website and you're branding a company that costs thousands of dollars, you know what I mean? And she's having to pay in that is
nobody's business.
Nobody's business. If I want to trade you for anything, I should be able to trade you.
Well, not to mention what you're saying is I can't build my business in that way. And in turn, she'll never be able to afford marketing. You know what I mean? She can never afford it.
My parents can't give me a car without me paying taxes or giving money to the government.
Right. Well, so that's what co-ops are for. That's why they have those.
But yet if there's major fires, you won't get any help from the state of California.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, I was like, don't even get us started on that.
I know. We can spend this whole entire time going on a government rant.
We're supposed to be talking about toxins. The government is toxic.
It starts with them and the ingredients that they allow us to use in the products that are not okay in other countries.
They shouldn't be okay.
Well, they're not meant to. I mean, our government isn't here to make us well. And that's a fact. It's to make us sick. It's the industry of making us sick. There's no money in making us well.
So we have to have knowledge so that way we can make our own choices.
100%.
Well, it's the only way. And it's our responsibility to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, honestly, there's nothing hippie about this. The more that I learn,
it's political.
The more you know, the more you grow.
And it's more going back to our roots.
It is, which is what we're all about, ladies. And one of the things that Andy was telling me about was a company called EWG, which is Environmental Working Group. And I was like, what the heck's that? And she's like, oh, you know, when I'm looking up different products, I'll input them in there and they rate them for me. Well, according to the EWG, more than 50% of conventional cleaning products contain chemicals that are harmful to our lungs.
Why? Think about it.
And our eyeballs.
What do you mean? And some of them will make you impotent. They will make you to where you are no longer able to have babies.
It's crazy.
That's a good way to control the population.
Well, it is a good way to control the population.
Crazy.
And here, you know, we are cleaning our homes with these products thinking that we're providing a safe space for our families so they don't get sick. And these things are actually making us more sick.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch TV?
Yeah, of course I watch TV.
Do you?
Yeah, I watch like series, you know, The Way Home, stuff like that.
TV.
No. I hear Fox News a lot because my husband's always watching Fox News, so I hear it in the background.
TV where they have commercials?
No, I don't do commercials.
I think it's hilarious when I do hear it. I have to say I'm out to dinner and they're playing the TV and it's like it comes up with the medication and it gives you like the list of 70 things it'll cost.
Every other commercial is a prescription medication.
Why? Why are we advertising
And then
that?
on top of it,
Big pharma,
every
baby.
commercial is fear-based.
Yeah,
I believe that.
It's insane. So I do not watch TV.
No.
And there little bits golf here and there. But I've never really been a TV watcher. Don't remember, maybe we were in a hotel and the TV was on and I just could not believe what I was hearing after years and years. So this is years of just not, I don't listen to the radio either. Do you ever listen to the radio?
I do listen to Cat Country a little bit here and there just because it's like a
Shout
local
out
one.
Cat Country.
Tim Cruise, what's up? But I don't really, other than that, I don't listen to radio.
Yeah, I was in a rental car the other day and it had radio and I was like, what?
How do I hook up my phone? I need my Spotify.
But listening to every other, it should be against the law for pharmaceuticals to advertise.
I agree with that. That I 100% agree with. That they shouldn't be advertising to us.
100%.
No.
I don't even know if it's in
Their job's to
if
kill
it's
us.
legal in any other country but here.
I bet you it's not.
It's almost comic. I mean, and I say this it's reckless for me, I guess, to say this, but it's almost comical to listen to it because it's like, oh, we can help you with your hormone problems, but it may cause diarrhea, anal cancer, vomiting, and all this stuff, and you may die. And you're like, oh,
why would I
sorry.
take this?
What?
No, can you imagine if I actually watch these things? I'm already scared enough to take any medicines.
You and me both.
I'd be a mess.
I just looked up your essential oils and was it called, just because I thought maybe the listeners might want to have some ideas with it. But we were talking about doTERRA. Young Living and doTERRA used to be the same. I think they broke apart and that's how they came up with doTERRA, or vice versa. But Plant therapy I've used. You said you use Eden's Garden?
Eden's Garden.
Okay. And Rocky Mountain Oils is the other one I've used.
Eden's Garden is probably my very favorite. But doTERRA I use, like, I think doTERRA is great, like, especially if you're ingesting it.
Okay.
But Eden's Garden has some amazing blends, and they have one called Headies. And I really like Headies when I have a headache to put it on my temples. And I turned on a few people to it quite a few years ago, and they still use it. But yeah, I really like that brand, and it's fairly inexpensive in comparison to doTERRA.
Look up Mountain Rose herbs. Okay. And I only say that because they're organic and they're sustainably sourced. They're sustainably sourced. And so it's, a lot of people, you balk a little bit at the organic thing because the regulations are kind of wacky. Right. But that said, if we're going to ingest them or breathe them, they may as well be somewhat, researched.
Yeah.
And so anyway, look up that and let me know what you think. It's the one I used to use. But this is so interesting. So what else did you make?
So I did that. I got this stuff. I'm going to make my own Windex, which Bob used to make Windex back in the day for pizza. Water. Yeah, well, his
Where did you go?
Where the hell did Gina go? Gina went in a tunnel. Gina, let me guess, Gina, are you getting something to eat? It's unbelievable.
Is she? No,
she's opening up her orange juice on our carpet.
No, on my hand. On my hands.
Good thing is I know how to make carpet cleaner. No,
stay tuned.
So Bob used to make his own Windex, and I remember like throwing a fit that we had because he would have it like in the big gas, those gas containers.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and it would be like he would use rubbing alcohol, water, and then blue dye, so the kids knew it was the Windex. And I remember being like, this is so ghetto. Like, let's just buy Windex like regular people. Like, I'm never doing this. Like, when Bob's done, like, being here, like, I'm never doing this again.
You're like the uneducated
this
American.
Is so lame. And now I'm like, let's go back to Bob's recipe.
What was that recipe?
No, I literally asked him. I said, so when you made, do you remember? He's like, yeah, it was really easy. Like, it called for vinegar, but then I just dropped the vinegar and just went, but I'm going to do the vinegar. So I got all the stuff to do it, and I'm not putting dye in it because we're not doing the dye thing.
No, thank you.
So I'm just going to label it. I got some glass bottles, so I'm going to label them because I found out that it's better to put stuff in glass, not in the plastic.
Word.
So I also cleaned my big bathtub with baking soda and the vinegar thing, and then I ran the jet thing. You guys will not believe.
I've seen this one.
The crap that came out of my jets on my bathtub.
I'll just soak in this.
Guys, it was disgusting.
It's mold.
It was black. It looked like freaking like little snakes coming out of there. I almost got sick. I was like, oh my God. And I ran it like a few times. I did it a few times because it was so gross. And I never even use my jets. Fun fact, I have jets that I never use, and it has all this crap in it.
So can you imagine what they look like? And the more you use bath bombs and things like that, the more it happens.
So everybody right now, if you have a bathtub with jets, I highly recommend that you fill it full of hot water.
Yeah, tell us.
The hottest water. Put in a bunch of baking soda, at least 2 cups of vinegar. Run all the jets for as long as you can, and see what the hell comes out of
When
there.
you say as long as you can, are you meaning like 10 minutes, 45 minutes?
I ran mine for 30 minutes.
Okay.
I wonder what our washers look like.
Okay, so that's my next mission is I'm going to go through I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to clean them. I'm going to use the vinegar solution to clean it all and sanitize it all. But like now I'm on a mission to clean everything in my home. And I'm like, I'm going to get, this place is going to be purged and clean as could be, like a whistle. Like I am on a mission.
And
I love it.
The best part is our kids are watching, our grandkids are watching. Well, I don't have grandkids yet, but you know what I mean? They're watching and they're going to learn all this.
Yes.
Now you're going to end up like Nana.
I'm going to be like Nana. I'm going to have the crap on the counter with the baking soda.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They're going to remember and have a podcast later and be talking about how you used to do this.
Seriously. Everything will be clean, but I'll still be drinking my wine.
So sustainable wine is a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah.
So Andy, tell us things that our listeners should be looking for if they were to be proactive and look at the ingredients inside of their cleaners. Yes. What are some things that we can't pronounce that you can?
I'm not saying I can because I don't know. They're going to come on here and be like, excuse me, you're not pronouncing that correctly. So, phthalates are one of them, and they are used in many fragrances and are actually just fragranced products. like air fresheners and dish soap and even toilet paper. And it's been known to cause endocrine disruption, and it can cause and affect hormonal balance. And it can it's actually related to reproductive issues. So if you're having those issues, you really should be looking at the ingredients. I'm not going to throw any names out there, Bill Gates, but people that actually support this type of stuff and actually like fund it and are part of it. Yeah. Right. And so anyway, formaldehyde is a big one, and it's on a lot of laundry detergents, cosmetics, even in your furniture. I know that sounds weird, but
It's random.
Is it not formaldehyde something that they use in embalming?
You're 100% right. Remember in high school, like when they had the frogs in the jar, that's what it was, formaldehyde.
You know, I like the Frog Project.
It was fun.
Everybody else act like little weenies, but I thought it was great. I loved it.
I say it was fun, but it was fun watching. I actually refused to do it.
See, of course.
I did my senior
I was
project.
carving into that guy.
Now I probably would, just because it's very interesting.
It is interesting.
Parabens are a huge one, and we'll get into this towards the end of the year or the second half of the year
when we're rebuilding. Yeah.
Exactly, and that has to do with cosmetics and pharmaceuticals and things like that. But you got to watch out for VOCs, and those are in aerosol sprays, paints, air fresheners, and those can cause damage to your liver, kidneys, and central nervous system. And some of them are suspected for carcinogens, which cause cancer.
Right.
So it's just that kind of thing. Ammonia is a big one. That's one reason why I use Madison Reed. And it's not because they're perfect or they have perfect ingredients, but at least it doesn't have that. Or the phthalates or the and if I'm saying that wrong, please correct me, but the parabens as well. So, but chlorine is another one. Can't really use that.
I've been a big bleach fan my entire life.
I love bleach. Yeah.
I'm really, I know, because nothing cleans like bleach.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, but now that I know what I know, never again. And then I just want to reference one thing, ladies, just for our listeners that might be thinking about going and making their own cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
So when in my little research, I was looking for like an all-purpose cleaner, how to make my own all-purpose. And of course it called for vinegar, but I have marble countertops throughout my home. And for granite and marble, you cannot use vinegar.
Oh, really?
Because the acid will ruin it. So I just wanted to let anybody out there that wants to go this way,
we don't want to be sued and be paying for
no, I
marble
just don't want to mess up your counters.
We're not going to pay for it.
So instead of vinegar, you'll use rubbing alcohol.
Okay.
So you'll use all of the same ingredients that it'll call for, which is only like 3 or 4 ingredients. But instead of vinegar, you'll replace it with the rubbing alcohol.
We'll have to do a little research on if alcohol has anything, because I would think it might, but I'm not educated enough to.
They have different types too. So I found a different type that's supposed to be better. So
okay. Oh, that's good.
But
that chlorine stuff we were just talking about, it's in a lot of things, mildew removers or whatever, but it says it can lead to respiratory issues and thyroid dysfunction.
I trust me.
No, it's so crazy. I just thought that was so nuts.
So replacing chemicals with things like white vinegar, baking soda,
lemon,
Castile.
Castile.
How do you say
soap.
Castile?
Castile soap.
I called it Castile, so whatever.
Whatever. It has an E at
It
the
works
end,
amazing though. I got the one that was cheaper because we talked about it because I bought the
Bonners.
I bought the Bonners and it was stupid
It is expensive. Yeah.
For 1 gallon, it was $67 on Amazon. I was like, wait, this is not the game plan here. So I found one for $20, works equally as good.
Do you know the brand name?
No, but I will pull it up while we're talking.
Maybe we'll leave a link.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll send you the link. Yeah. And we could put it on our Amazon storefront too. But yeah, it's literally amazing.
So it was a link for Castile soap. I'm just gonna write it down right here so we don't forget.
And what's funny is in the floor cleaner, you literally put a teaspoon of that soap in there. Literally like 2 tablespoons of the baking soda and about 1/4 of a cup of vinegar and then essential oils. The rest is all water.
Have you guys ever seen those? And I think I got it at Target maybe, but years ago, maybe before they were trying to kill people. But
I don't think it was
started. They just started.
As reference, I don't think that the cleaning companies were out there trying to kill us all. I think that it's just the products that they use to clean. And now that they know that it's bad, they should stop. But I think originally they weren't out there trying to kill us all. That's just my opinion.
It depends on the companies. The larger companies.
They totally disagree with me.
I don't think so. I don't
just
agree
pass
with
on
that. We'll agree to disagree on that one.
We're still learning, though.
Pretty sure they're like, what else can we put Agent Orange in?
So what?
How else can we kill them with fluoride?
Yeah, right. We'll just go ahead and put it in their food instead.
Yeah. When I'm eating a Subway sandwich and it's made from plastic, that's scary. Right?
Yeah. No,
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy. So do you make anything, sister, that is kind of, I know you've had chickens and you're really into the natural thing also, but have you started that type of stuff yet? Or were you just kind of coming on board too?
Of making my own cleaners?
Or anything like it?
I mean, we buy a cow that is,
which I think is great.
It's grass fed. It's happy until it's slaughtered. It's humanely slaughtered. It's, butchered right.
They say all great days and only one bad day for the cow.
I mean, we do that. I try to be a lot more conscious about a lot of things that I'm doing now, especially like you, woke in a different way.
In a good way.
In a good way, right? You just kind of wake up and
I'm excited about it though too. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, ladies. It just feels great. Like it feels great.
Well, again, like going back, I think we like maybe coming out of an era of consumption and being consumers, right? And the easier thing to just grab. I mean, I've gone into Target and spent, $100 on cleaners.
For sure.
What did I just do?
And I think it's going back to the fact that we grew up with not much money. Mm-hmm. So when we, our parents are buying the generic version of Tide, they're buying the generic, Clorox.
Right.
Where like when we got to get it, it's like, I'm getting the best of the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
And I need 15 bottles of it because God forbid that I ran out of Tide in my house.
Right.
And God forbid I didn't have a bottle of Clorox. So I'll have 10 bottles of Clorox.
Right.
So now that I've been there, done that, now I'm like, why do I have this? This is unnecessary. And then it's like, also, what the hell am I buying? I'm buying a brand name. Mm-hmm. And because it's a brand, in my mind, I think it's better.
It's the best.
And it's like, you know what? Like, I love my freaking no brand laundry soap. I think it's awesome. And I love going in there with my little whisking it up before I go in and do it.
Yeah, right.
Like, I think it's great.
Well, it's like little potions that we're making.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids.
I'm like, what else can I make?
Yeah, right.
So at Target a couple years ago, you could buy, it was like a pretty spray bottle because we want everything to be pretty, right? Yes. So it's a pretty spray bottle and you just like clipped in this little thing and it released the detergent into it. And you could buy it for like a counter cleaner, Windex, and all that. And it was all very natural and homeopathic. It's not there anymore.
Of course not.
Yeah.
They
but
probably
it used
took it
to
over.
be. That's kind of as close. I got really addicted to just buying those little pods and sticking them in my warm water.
But you're really good, even though you don't make stuff yet. Like you're still like pretty conscious on what you're buying, like as far as being natural about stuff. Cause I've heard you talk about it. So I know that you're very aware of
But we get busy. And when we get busy, we get lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on this new kick where I started researching fabrics because even the Bible,
when she was talking about that,
talks about energy in our clothing that we and they were very mindful. Of course, they didn't have all of the cheap shit that we do now, but back then, if you want to talk about a fabric with the highest amount of energy in it, it's linen.
Right.
You mentioned the linen thing, but we were talking about the biblical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Bible tells you not to mix two materials because one is super low energy. So, back then, only certain people could afford and wear linens. And then there was there's different types of, back then of materials and they were like lower and lower energy according to like almost stature.
And they would get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, why are you wearing two types of clothes?
Yeah. And you can't blend. They didn't blend.
I mean, imagine some of the clothes that we wear. They have multi-blends just in the pants. Or
just some of our clothes cause cancer.
Yeah.
Polyester and rayon.
Well, they literally say them on the tags.
Yeah.
So when I buy stuff from Shein, because, I buy a fair amount of stuff from Shein because you get a bunch of crap for cheap.
$10.
And it has warnings on all the labels that it could cause cancer.
Have you stopped ordering from there?
Not yet.
Stop ordering from there.
Have you seen the people in the factories?
Yeah, dying on the ground.
No.
They're
like
laying
just-
on the ground. Yeah, they work them to death to make
Stop.
those so cheap.
Stop.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
dead
have
serious.
to stop.
Where did you guys find this?
I'll
just
send it to you.
Everywhere. You have to stop ordering. You
It-
don't
Temu's
support
not any
China.
better.
It's crazy.
Temu's even is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never used Temu. I don't even know how to do that.
Well, the Shein thing, I kind of almost jumped on that bandwagon because I was like, I mean,
'Cause you
why
get
wouldn't
so
you?
much stuff. It's
For
crazy.
But
cheap.
it's junk. And
is
it's
junk.
disposable.
It is junk.
Right?
Like you wear it a couple times and you're done.
So
It goes in the
we're
giveaway.
only supposed to be buying and purchasing things that we absolutely fall in love with.
Yes.
Heirloom quality.
Purge. Yeah.
Like you would leave this skirt and this sweater like to Maddie, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because she could wear it. Like
Right.
that jacket I was wearing today. Like
I love that
type of
jacket.
stuff. It's so
No
funny.
more Sheen.
No more Shane. Shane's gone. Next purge.
Okay.
Off the list, Shein. You hear that?
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I missed you.
Yeah,
I miss you. I miss my little package.
The only good thing about Sheen is you can wear it one time and throw
I
it
don't
away.
care. Yeah, because it's so cheap.
Yeah, throw it away.
That house that we cleaned, we won't mention any names. I swear that's where all that stuff came from.
Sheen.
Because it was just a
100%.
right? That and Temu. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
like, that's all it was. But
Wow.
so I was talking to Greg and while I was waiting for you guys, and I was like, hey, remind me some of the things we've made over the years that just even whether we still do it or we'd go back to it, what we used to do. So we did our own toothpaste. He actually brought up Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Well, we make
Salt and water.
Yeah,
with
we
some
just-
flavor.
Yeah. So we use Baja Gold salt because it is the purest and it has all the minerals that your body needs. It replaces all those minerals, so it doesn't register as salt in your blood. So if you have high blood pressure and they say you can't have salt anymore, they mean iodized salt. They're never going to tell you this, but iodized salt, table salt, is bad for you.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're using like Himalayan or you're using this Baja Gold salt, I'm telling you, it is the salt. It's almost wet the way that it is. It's because
Right.
it's sea salt, but
It's like that Celtic salt that everybody's talking about
Yeah.
also.
So we put it in there. We use Berkey water. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Berkey filter.
I have.
Your dad,
I have one,
Yeah. Oh, you do have one, huh?
I do.
So best water ever. But that, and then we do lemon, and then we just add stuff to it other than the salt, like NAC and vitamin C and zinc and potassium. So you'll just add whatever you want. Like as you learn about each one, we buy them in bulk and we'll just make our own Gatorades. But it's that easy to do.
Yeah.
And the Gatorade is not going to replenish your electrolytes.
No, and it's like almost all sugar.
Yeah, it is. It's so bad for you. So he's the one that brought up that. I totally forgot that. But same thing with chest rub. I used to love Vicks chest rub. I
Yes.
just swore by it. It just makes you feel so much better when you sleep at night. So we started using coconut oil, but I would use your essential oils. If you just look it up and just add a couple drops of the
Like
essential oil.
eucalyptus or something.
Yeah, and mint and things like that. Tea tree oil, I used to put a couple drops in. You got to be careful because of hot oils. It can burn your skin if it's not cut right. But I would rub it on the boy's chest, and we called it polar rub, but because it made it cold. And
Right.
so we used to do that. And I used to make, well, not doTERRA. What were we just? Young Living has an oil that is really good for the immune system, and they put it in all of their cleaning products. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
It's not the Fighting Five.
Thieves. It's Thieves oil.
Thieves oil. Yes.
Yeah, Thieves
Fighting
oil.
Five is Eden's Garden's version of that,
Did you know that?
and then On Guard is
do you know where that
doTERRA's.
started?
Is-
Thieves oil. So, and again, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it was maybe I just heard a story, but it was during the plague or one of the Black Plague or whatever it was. They would go in and rob the graves of all their jewelry and things like that, but they couldn't because they would too get sick. But this oil that they would rub on them would keep them from getting sick.
Dude, that's crazy.
So they were using different plant oils to be able to do that. And so again, there's probably more to the story than that. But
Wow.
I used to make kind of what I call my own. I used to call it unum oil because it was just all these oils into one oil, and unum means one. But
Right.
you just kind of do it yourself. Like look up what oils are in Thieves oil and just make up your own version of it.
Like
But
that.
it works really good. You put it in your diffuser, and when someone's sick, I did it for
Right.
Kyoji when he came to our house. I was putting oils in the diffuser and things like that. Those immune boosting oils work so good. And but we make bone broth, and that's how I came up with Sea Honey, was because I was using Bath and Body Works, that coconut. They had a body body butter that was just decadent. I loved it, but I call it hang time. It wouldn't last on my skin, but 5 hours, and then I was dry again.
You know, I just put on Sea Honey before I came here.
Did you?
And my skin feels great.
Ma'am, I love it.
And I smell good.
Like,
and I smell good.
You smell like a nut.
You're a nut.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't. Have you guys made bone broth?
I have never made bone broth.
Read about it, because I'm telling you right now, you want to talk about arthritis, our
gonna help me.
joints and things like that.
Well, I've told you for
I
Hannah,
know.
she needs bone broth.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I just made some for Kyoji, and I kind of let it go overnight, and they say to let it go for about no less than 8 hours, but typically up to 12 or 14. I think I did 16 because it was overnight. I just left it on simmer. But I took 2 whole chickens, roasted them, and then you put them in the pot, and you only fill it up just past the chickens, and then just let it simmer. Don't add any more water throughout at all. And what should happen when you put it in the refrigerator after you strain everything out of it? First, the bones should be soft afterward. So they should smush kind of in your fingers, and you know you've gotten everything out of there that you can.
Mm-hmm.
But what will happen is it will get like really gelatinous, and when it's cold. And so when you pull it back up and warm it up, it will be liquid again, but you know you've done it right because it has all that, I don't know, like glycerin. Or I don't know what word I'm trying to think of. Glucosamine.
No.
I'm going to have to look it up. I'm saying all the wrong things, but it's from the gristle and the marrow and all that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, it not only is delicious, it's unlike any other soup that you'll ever make.
When we buy our cow, we make sure we get all of the marrow.
That's awesome.
Do you make bone broth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me how you do yours, because I've never made
spoil
beef.
it down, but I just add a whole bunch of garlic and pepper,
Salt,
peppercorns.
good salt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have
That's good
that
to know.
the Celtic salt. So because when we fast and when Adam fasts, we fast using bone broth.
It also is for wrinkles.
Well,
No joke.
the
It will help you.
tallow.
Yeah, I just
on
watched
the
that girl
outside.
I sent you guys from on Instagram.
Mhm.
She puts beef tallow on her face.
Yeah.
So that's like approaching it from the outside. And then if you're drinking bone broth also, it's approaching it from the inside. So you're just kind of, and then no joke, start putting castor oil in your belly button, and you will notice between all those things, your skin will be so hydrated and moist.
Wow, that's great.
And then slather it with sea honey's blissed out. But
I love
no
it.
joke. It works really good. But have you ever made elderberry?
Ooh,
I
that'd be
want
fun.
to.
That would be fun.
I bought homemade elderberry here in Ripon.
yeah.
Yeah, the lady out on West Ripon.
Yes, they're gone now though.
Oh,
That was Whitney's best, and now
my mom
they're.
used to buy honey from her.
I think that they're in Texas now. I'm not 100%.
Do they ship?
Yes, and I think if you look it up, it's Whitney's best.
Okay, I'm going to write it down. I also know that Nate's does it. Also, she calls me Auntie Andy. She's my old best friend's daughter,
Okay.
and she makes her own. And it's
That'd be
really
a fun thing for us to do, ladies. What about if we get somebody to come in and teach us how to do that?
I
to
think
make our
that
own?
how
we
to make
should film a couple different episodes
Or making stuff.
Yeah, because my sons say that they love our YouTubes.
Yeah, our YouTubes
And they're
are
like,
fun.
why don't you do more YouTube?
Okay.
Hannah says the same thing.
So
I'm hearing
we
the same
should
thing.
do laundry soap. We should do
Yep.
candles in case they want to know, because like for somebody like me, and you're a doer, like you go for it 100%, you dive in and you're swimming with the sharks. Where me, right?
I think that's
I'm
a
always
compliment.
like,
I'm not really
harpoon.
sure.
I love talking about it, but it's hard for my brain to sit and go, okay, I need this. I just want to sew.
Well, it's kind of like, where do you start? It's
It's very
overwhelming.
intimidating. So maybe we should make a video and show them how easy it is
Yes.
to do these kind of things, especially like the laundry soap. Then let's be proactive. The laundry soap, the candles, a beef tallow, bone broth. Maybe we should have little videos.
I love this. I
Oh
think
my
this is
gosh.
great.
Yeah.
I think so too. So wellness videos we'll do.
I love it.
The elderberry is seriously just, I use,
And 'tis the season. We're
100%.
in flu season.
and it's preventative. You're not
Yeah.
even supposed to just use it when you're sick. Otherwise it's like once every hour you're supposed to take it. But otherwise you just take it twice a day. And all it is elderberry. I use rose hips, and then you boil it for 45 minutes with filtered water, and then you add honey to it. And honey soothes the throat and it makes it more palatable. But other than that, like it thickens it a little bit. Otherwise you could do without honey if for some reason you can't have honey. But no joke, it's the easiest
There's
thing in the
people
world.
that can't have honey.
there's some. And a lot of people that want to feed it to their littles that don't want to give them honey because maybe they're too young or whatever.
I don't think there's no such thing.
I don't think there's no
we
such
can
thing.
give babies bags of chips, but we can't give them honey.
They say it causes like botulism or something.
In babies?
Botulism?
Yeah, I think if I go look it up, that's what they're worried about.
Is this kind of like peanuts?
Oh,
we're not giving our children peanuts now?
Oh my God.
It's so silly.
So yeah, well, peanuts. Okay, so peanuts. If you buy peanuts that have been
peanuts
ground,
are bad for you anyways because they have lectin in them.
Yes,
lectin or lectin.
Lectin, I think.
Lectin in them. So out of all the nuts in the whole nut family, you should not eat peanuts.
And once you roast peanuts, it causes something to happen to the oils that makes them way worse for you.
Yeah.
So if you get peanuts and you buy like peanut protein and it's just basically ground unroasted peanuts and then you add it to your shakes and things like that's what we do or whatever. That's is all new for us also because I used to go.
They have to be raw. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. Yeah.
And then maybe cooking them creates the lectins.
I think so. It's the oil in the peanuts. So seed oils and nut oils are not good for you.
Right.
And so you should be using avocado, olive oil, and tallow and ghee. Is really good.
That's all we use. So and avocado oil sometimes, but I have ghee in my house and I have tallow.
What is ghee oil? Explain to us what it is exactly.
It's another fat, is it not?
It's clarified butter. Are you talking about ghee?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's clear. So it's just like clarified butter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to make my own butter.
Oh yeah. We talked about that too.
I got my tray. So it's just
another video.
So we're going to set up the first video. We'll make the laundry soap together and we'll do fabric softener. And we'll do the floor cleaner because by then I'll be the expert of it for 5 seconds,
So yeah, they are saying that it does cause infants botulism. It can. And they said it's not
Can I just say, it sounds horrible, but what the fuck is botulism?
But what's funny is I want to know who did the studies. This is more like, it's not trying to get to.
Bill Gates did that.
I know, right?
Study.
He has everything to do with it. I just know it. So botulism is a rare, serious illness, but a serious illness that is caused by toxins that attack the body's nerves. So I'm not.
From raw honey?
Yeah. And granted, if you have to think about it, it had to have been something wrong with the honey or something that the way it was stored.
Maybe it's that young children don't have what they need in order to fight that if they did get it. Like maybe all of us, when we eat honey, have the potential of getting botulism from it, but we're able to fight it.
So it's botulism spores it's botulinum spores found in honey. These spores are harmless to older children and adults. But mature.
Wow, so Mo was right. The hell?
So for hundreds of years, children just be falling over dead of botulism, and they just figured it out and said, "Oh, it's honey."
Well, it's kind of like what I talked about with the peanuts. That in that area in Africa, they're feeding them peanut soup, and nobody has allergies to peanuts. But here, everybody's got all these peanut allergies because we don't let our children have them until 2 years old. I think honey is similar. I think in the areas where honey was prevalent and they use it all the time, their children were fine with it because it's like inbred in them that they can eat honey. But if you're not feeding it to them and then all of a sudden this next generation is giving them honey, it could be a problem.
So yeah, and you're right. It has to me, it has to do something with something else because otherwise we're talking about the Center of Disease Control and things like that are doing these studies. And granted, maybe they're right and maybe we shouldn't be doing that, but to me, it requires the person to do some research. Right. You know what I mean? I don't
feel like it's like necessary to give a 2-year-old honey either. Like,
right.
Like I'm not out there going, oh God, I got to give my kid honey. But we also shouldn't be so scared to give them every little thing because everybody has an allergy to everything now. It's crazy. Everybody is allergic to bread. They're allergic to eggs.
You ever seen that TikTok where she's ordering something through a drive-thru and it's like 20 minutes?
No.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm going to have to find it. So
it's
funny.
Vaccines.
Yeah. She's like sugar-free, gluten-free, this free, that free.
Well, something, because I've been on this whole low carb diet. So I've been eating a lot of Quest things, right? So like my muffin in the morning is a Quest muffin. And, it has a chemical-y taste to it. Okay. So the last time I ate it was a couple days ago and I was like, I couldn't even, I ate one bite of it and I was like, I'm not going to eat any more of this.
Do you think to yourself, I can make a
me.
granola bar myself?
Yes. And I was like, this isn't good for me. Like here I am thinking that I'm gonna do this. It's part of
And
my
this
weight
is
loss.
healthy.
This
Yeah.
is not healthy. And
No.
then like the protein chips that I eat from Quest, when you look at the ingredients, I'm like, wait, this isn't okay. They have another one that Quest doesn't make, and I can't remember the name brand of it, but it's actually made with chicken. So it's actually
I know
chicken.
what you're talking about,
And that one's
yeah.
better. That one's fine. It has like normal
They
ingredients.
said if your grandma didn't eat it, you shouldn't eat it.
Cottage
So-
cheese chips. You can make them.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, you just kind of put it in a little thing and you
And then
bake
you
it.
bake
I
it.
seen a mommy make goldfish on TikTok the other
Seriously.
day. So
Make
Yes,
it
you can do
yourself.
some cool
so
stuff.
I had a doctor, a holistic doctor, say, well, my Aunt June, they used to go to. She's the one that owns the Morro Bay House. So
I want
okay.
an Aunt June.
An Aunt June too.
I know, right?
She got a Nana and an Aunt June.
I do. I
This
have
is
an
why
Aunt
she's
Paula
so
and
Andy.
Aunt
This is why she's
Marianne.
Andy.
Yes.
But she went to a doctor and they told her that, first off, bubbly make fat is what the Chinese doctor said, was anything with carbonation in it is
No
going to
idea
make you
what you
fat.
just said.
bubbly make fat. Bubbly make fat. So if you're drinking sodas, you're going to constantly be putting on weight, regardless if it's diet or whatever.
You're not supposed
It
to have
doesn't
it.
bubbly.
Bubbly make fat.
Yeah, bubbly make fat. And then I forgot where I was even going with that
Bubbly
one.
made my booty.
What about, we'll get back to that because I can't even remember what I was doing. But what about sweeteners? That's something to
See,
me we
I'm
need to
addicted
talk
to Splenda. And it's something, I mean, I drink diet sodas all the time. And I had just told you and Greg
Hey,
how like
bubbly
that's
make
going to
fat.
be
Yeah, bubbly make fat.
So that's like my next thing is going to be to get rid of my sweets. But like, I gotta, it's my
One
fake
step
sweet.
at a time.
One step at a time. We can't take
Okay.
everything away from
Yeah.
Mo. So I'm going to start with, this low carb stuff that I've been eating. Like I like that Carb Smart ice cream. So that's going to be adios because it doesn't taste right. There's something wrong with it.
Like chemicals.
Yeah. And same thing with the Quest stuff that I've been eating. So all that stuff is going to be adios. I have a few to go through. So I'm going to go through them first and then I'm going to adios it. And I'm going to go to different alternatives. And then I'm going to get rid of the fake sweeteners.
So they are number one in cancer causing is artificial sweeteners. That's a big one for us. So when I told you we make that Gatorade, it's always stevia.
Right.
Stevia, monk fruit, maple syrup,
That
honey.
stuff tastes like shit though.
It depends
I'd rather
on-
just have
You
maple
just
syrup.
have to get used to it. That's
Okay,
all.
but I don't
you
want
have to
to.
get that garbage, that taste out of your mouth because you're just doing it for pleasure, right? So
Yeah.
pleasure yourself differently.
Sounds good to me. Where's that button?
I know, right?
Where's that button? I need
I know. Hold on. It was like, everybody, hold on. There we go. Pleasuring yourself. So
Maybe stop
romantic.
pleasuring yourself with food and pleasure yourself differently.
Well, have you heard of Zevia?
Eat this, not that.
Have you heard of Zevia?
Sounds like stevia, but different.
Well, it's soda.
Is this the generic brand? Is
this from
Gail
we
Gallup
don't
buy
do
this?
the generic brand.
Is this soda from Junior Mervin's? Zevia is actually it's so good as a diet soda, and they have ones that taste like Dr.
I have
Pepper.
actually
they
tasted that.
taste like shit.
Not that tastes yucky.
That tastes like straight shit.
Not yuckier than that though.
I think
It's
that I
still
could just
yuck.
drink my coffee black with some cream in it.
There
I
you
think
go.
here's the plan: is just fast for like 3 or 4 days,
A bone
and then
broth?
drink that, and it probably tastes good.
True. That's
Yeah.
actually true.
You have to reset your palate
Absolutely.
from garbage
True.
It's purging
to good,
purging your
to something
palate.
good. Yeah.
Right. Right.
I remembered what that doctor said. And what he was saying was that, and this was actually not that Chinese doctor. It was a Western medicine doctor that said to me, I think he might've been a DO, but he said, you can eat anything you want. Just make it from scratch. Like an apple pie, it's fine if you have it because you're making it from scratch. You're ixnaying,
All the preservatives, all the other stuff
seriously.
that's bad for us.
So
Yeah.
anyway, what else could we make?
Like granola bars.
Yeah, like granola bars.
Right.
My favorite.
I like
Or we
granola
talked
bars.
about it last podcast. I think we talked about milling our own flour.
Yep. I'm getting the flour miller. And
Something else I got to buy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not on Amazon though. We have to go direct and buy it from the company.
Mm.
That's like, get rid of Amazon too. They are bad juju.
So
Really?
Monica, no more Amazon, no more.
She just saw my house right now. I have like 3 Amazon boxes.
We
by
use
the
it
front
like
door.
crazy too. And I just through telling Greg, I was like, don't go on Amazon to buy that gum. Just go to Underbrush and buy that gum. I mean,
Right.
you know what I mean? I can wait the week or whatever it
Right.
takes. I just don't want to support them as much as possible. But anyway, what do you think, sister, about the granola? What kinds do you?
I'm all looking at recipes. I don't like chocolate, so I was just looking up all the different, like what it has inside of it.
There was like a coconut crispy one that I used to buy.
This
And
one
I
has
just,
little, I love Rice Krispies.
me too.
All the stuff that's bad. We love it all.
We'll just make it from scratch. How are you going to make Rice Krispies?
I think you blow up a rice. A piece
You
of
bake
rice.
it?
It doesn't make any sense.
You fry it.
No, like a corn kernel goes.
I think you
pop.
fry it. I think it's like fried or something. I don't know.
Is fried
What
rice?
is a Rice
Is it
Krispie? That's
fried rice?
terrible.
I don't know how they do
See,
it.
we should know at least how it's made, but
Okay.
So I have some recipes here for some cleaners for the listeners for this episode. You guys want to hear some of them?
yes.
Okay. So for an all-purpose cleaner, remember we talked about we're not using this on marble or granite, is 1 cup of distilled vinegar, 1 cup of water, and about 15 drops of an essential oil. They recommend lemon, lavender, or tea tree oil. Tea tree oil has antibacterial properties to it.
Yes.
So that's why they
It's a
recommend
killer
that.
too. It's
Yeah.
good at its
It
job.
does a good job. So you can also, because it's an all-purpose cleaner, you could use it on glass, tile, and other surfaces. For a disinfectant, a cup of rubbing alcohol, a cup of water, and 20 drops of tea tree oil.
And you know what? And even regardless what we were talking about with alcohol, it's got to be better than what you're buying in the store.
Well, it's better than
anyway.
bleach. It's better than bleach. I
That
can tell you
too.
that.
Yeah, right.
And I would assume that you could use a high regular alcohol, like a high volume regular alcohol,
Sure.
you know, like a moonshine kind of thing.
Hey, we could make some of that. I'm
Yeah,
just joking.
I can drink some of that.
All right. Hey, we're homesteaders. I'm just
Why
kidding.
not? And then for a non-toxic degreaser is 1 part baking soda, 2 parts warm water, and you make a paste on it with it. And then you use that to clean your stovetop, your microwave, and things like that.
Does it work in a bathtub?
It probably would. It probably would. I like the vinegar in there because I feel like that little really
Right.
helps. For a sink cleaner, they recommend sprinkling baking soda in the sink and scrubbing it with white vinegar.
Nice.
Garbage disposal, freezing lemon peels and vinegar in ice cubes and tossing them down
Did you do
the
this?
disposal. No, it's on
Ma'am,
my list.
I did this.
It's on my list.
And you want to talk about disgusting.
It
You
probably all
just shove
comes
it
up.
in there and you pack it full of ice and you flip it on and then turn on the water. And it acts like it's just spinning for a while. And then it goes, and all
foams
the
up.
ice comes out. And when it comes out, it's black and brown.
Ew.
Because your disposal is gross. I did not know. And everybody's going to be like, mine wasn't like that. Andy's disgusting.
Andy, maybe try cleaning it once in a
Okay.
while. And then the last one is a toilet bowl cleaner. You pour a half a cup of baking soda, half a cup of vinegar into the toilet, and you let it sit for 15 minutes. And then you scrub it because good old elbow grease works better than anything.
Right?
So anyways, I'm excited about doing these on video, girls. How about you?
Yes.
We're going to come to podcast next week and she's going to have a chicken under one arm and a hippie skirt and like all kinds of stuff.
Quite possible. Well, thank you guys for getting me on this. This has been fun.
Yes.
I love how much we learn from each other.
This has been another impactful episode of Rooted Warriors. Remember, if you're anything like me, your home is your sanctuary. Harmful ingredients can hide in plain sight. But by choosing natural, safe alternatives, you're not only cleaning your space, you're protecting your health and nurturing your family. Let's continue our natural roots, one step at a time. This is Mighty Mo. Feel blessed, be blessed.